Today Baba says that he comes to change humans into deities. And you see that there are many sayings in Bharat about this, that, one saying is, Manushya se devata ki karat na lagi var, which means that it doesn't take time for God to change a human to a deity. And then there is, when we relate the Satyanarayan Katha, then we say that anybody who listens to this Katha will change from a human to Narayan. So there are mentions of this changing from a human to a deity. And then we talk about, in the Gita, there is this mention of Raj Yoga, and it is said that Raj Yoga makes you the king of kings, Rajaon ka Raja. And who is the king of kings? So the ones that kings also bow down to, and that is deities. So Baba says that in many places there is mention of this shift from a human to a deity, but still we never practically think about it, and it is never in our thought that we will change from humans to deities, or this question about when will we change or who will change us never comes to our mind until Baba comes. And then, all of it starts making sense. So, you see, I remember there was this one story I heard about a child, a little child, 4-year-old, and he was given a puzzle. And the puzzle was, you had to join the pieces of the puzzle and create the world map. And then this child did it in 1 second. And then everybody was very confused about how this child knows how to put the world map into place. And then when the child was asked, he said, no, I didn't do that. There was a picture behind that world map of a body, and I know how to arrange the parts of a body now because this is my body. So I just did that, and then on the other side there was the world map. So he did not arrange that. So Baba says similarly, when Baba gives us the knowledge of the beginning, middle and end of the world, then everything that did not make sense, or that was not even part of our thoughts, or that was not in our understanding, it starts coming into place. So then we start connecting the dots that, okay, this is what it meant when, this thing was said, or this song meant this, or this saying meant this, or whatever is written in the scripture meant this. So, otherwise, if you try to understand every line of every scripture, or try to figure out the symbolism behind it, or try to understand everything that was ever spoken or said, and the rituals and beliefs, and you try to decode the meaning of each one of that, it is impossible. But once you understand true knowledge, then you can put everything in the right perspective. So this is why Baba says this is the highest knowledge. And Baba says there is no knowledge higher than this. And because when you start understanding, so the knowledge is basically 3 things: the knowledge of the soul, the knowledge of Baba, and the knowledge of the beginning, middle and end of the drama. And once you understand these three things, then you understand everything, the why, what, when of everything and everyone. And then you start understanding the, the reasons for it. So, you start understanding everything. For example, today Baba uh, gives us an example of those who create the atomic bombs. Yes, and then somebody would always have a question about why would somebody create an atomic bomb which is going to destroy their own race. Yes, so nobody in their right mind would do that. But Baba tells us that once you have the knowledge of the soul, then you understand that people are not doing anything for logical reasons or material reasons or any other reason. People are doing what they are doing because of a very deep spiritual reason. And what is that spiritual reason? They have that part recorded in them. And when the time comes, that part emerges. So if creating an atomic bomb is in somebody's part, then they start doing it. And it is sometimes very surprising, because you see, sometimes people think that if we educate other people, then they would not create weapons of destruction, or you sensitize them, you motivate them, you teach them spirituality, you do this and do that, and then these things will finish. But they have never finished. So, we have worked on literacy, we have tried to educate people, we have tried to give them employment. Then you see educated and employed people are also doing that. And then you try to think about, okay, let's give them spiritual education, or, teach them some good things. And then they go to temples and mosques and churches, and still they do the same thing. So then you wonder, why is somebody doing what they are doing? And then Baba says it's for a simple fact that that part is recorded in the soul. And Baba gives a very good analogy sometimes, and that is the analogy of the gramophone. So, just like a gramophone has a whole record in itself, and then there is a needle that falls on the record, and whatever piece the needle triggers, that piece is goes off, and then you hear that sound. So Baba says, similarly, time is the needle, and the soul is like the pre-recorded gramophone. And then we are all doing what we are doing for very deep spiritual reasons, because we have come here to do this. So this is our part every cycle. And even when you look at Brahmins, so earlier I used to, when I was body conscious, I used to think, that I have some way of figuring out who will take up gyan and who will not. So, you go into these things that, this person is responding, this person is not responding, this person looks like a person who has discipline in his life, and this person looks like he's very indisciplined. So maybe the disciplined one will walk the path of Gyan and not the indisciplined one. But then slowly, gradually, I figured out that there's no way to ascertain who who will actually walk the path of Gyan, because there is only one reason why people take up Gyan, and that's because it's their part. And everybody does what they are doing because it's their part to do it. And Baba says that this is why I am the one who gives you the highest knowledge. And when you have this knowledge, the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and end of the world, the knowledge of the soul, the knowledge of Baba, and then you can you can put everything that's happening into the right perspective, and you can look at it with the right attitude and put a full stop to it. So whenever you are able to set your attitude in the right way, then it enables you to put a full stop, and that is gyan. So if something is bothering you and you are able to use gyan and come to a place of acceptance, then that is gyan. So, gyan changes our state from a question mark, from an exclamation mark to a full stop. And that is what gyan does. And, there was this one Mata, and she used to tell me always that I used to wonder that my husband is nice to everybody, and everybody says he's the best human being we have ever met, but he's never nice to me. And I find that he's very, he's the complete opposite of me. He's very inexpressive. He's very, into his own world. And I find that shouldn't be that shouldn't be the quality of a husband, and I have a problem with him. And then she said, I used to always wonder, why am I so unfortunate that I got this husband? And then when I came into Gyan, I understood that you are not paired with the one who makes you comfortable. You're paired with the one who makes you elevated, and the one who puts you, the one who drives you crazy, and then you start looking for answers, and the one who takes you to Baba. So then I started thanking my husband and having a lot of gratitude for that soul, because that is that because if the soul had given me that that sweetness of the relationship of a husband, then maybe I wouldn't have found Baba the husband. So then that soul said, the Mata used to tell me that, Didi, when you understand the drama and you start appreciating the benevolence of the drama, then you start appreciating every scene of the drama. And when you start understanding that the purpose of the drama is to, make you have disinterest in the world and make you have appreciation for knowledge and yoga, and you will have disinterest in the world and you will have appreciation for knowledge and yoga only when you see difficult circumstances. I remember, there was this one, another Mata, and she told me that when I heard the story of the President of India, that she said that she lost everything and then she found Baba. So, she shares that story that, so many very near and dear ones, they left their bodies, and then she recognized Baba, and she talks about it very proudly. But then this Mata said, when I heard that story, then I had this thought, why would God be so unkind that he would, so you would lose everything and then find Baba. But then, some days later, when I thought deeply about it, she was not in Gyan. She came into Gyan through that experience. So she heard that video shared by the president, and then she came into Gyan after that. So she said, that I used to keep thinking about this, that what kind of an experience is this? She became a Brahmakumari after she lost everything. Why would somebody love the fact that they became a Brahmakumari after they lost everything? And why is she sharing it with so much happiness? And then I kept thinking about it. And then she said, I don't know who opened that door on my intellect, but something shifted. And then I started understanding that why am I focusing on what she lost? Why am I not focusing on what she found? And then I realized that, oh my God, she found Baba, she found God. That's what she's saying. So if she found God, then of course she doesn't have any sense of loss. She doesn't have any feeling of loss. And then I thought that Maybe because I don't have that kind of detachment or disinterest, because I've not lost too much. So maybe that is a roadblock to finding Baba. But then I asked myself a question: do I want to lose everything and go to Baba? Or do I just want to appreciate the fact that, God has come and I can go to Him? And then she came to the center. So she shared this experience that I wanted to find Baba even while I had everything, because before finding God, what attainment does anything else mean? So Baba says that this is the highest knowledge, and this highest knowledge makes you come to a point, makes you come to a stage of acceptance and appreciation, and a stage where you find that everything is happening accurately, and all your questions, all your exclamations are over, and you have complete acceptance, and you have complete faith in the benevolence of every scene of the drama. And you can put everything into place. You don't have questions about why this is happening, what is the purpose of this and that and the other. So Baba says this is the highest knowledge. There is no knowledge higher than this. And Baba says, any other knowledge, especially science, when you go into too much depth of science, then what is happening? What did the scientists achieve? Which was, so ultimately, what did they make? So they conducted so much of research and this and that. And what did they create? Nuclear bomb and atomic bomb. So that is the highest achievement. Just think about it. So Baba says, you go into the depths of any other knowledge, you just go into destruction. So any other knowledge is not going to change you from a human to a deity. You go into too much of any knowledge, it will give you you go towards the creation of the weapons of destruction. And this is the knowledge that changes you from a human to a deity. And Baba says that there is mention of this knowledge, and then this knowledge, one first thing about this knowledge is, this knowledge frees you from question mark and brings you to full stop. Second is, this knowledge teaches you Raj Yoga. So Baba comes and teaches you Raj Yoga. What is Raj Yoga? So the simple definition of Raj Yoga is, consider yourself to be a soul and remember Baba. So this Baba teaches us on the path of changing from a human to a deity. The most important thing is remember Baba. And it is Baba's remembrance, remembering Baba as he is, who he is. That is the path to burning your sins of 63 births. And then Baba says, I teach you purity. I teach you, I make you differentiate between virtues and vices. I give you the knowledge that lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed are vices. So earlier we never thought about these as vices, although they are mentioned that these are vices, and in the Gita also it is written, Kam Mahashatru hai, or lust is the greatest enemy. But did we ever think lust is the greatest enemy? Yes, when people get married and they take the blessings of go and become lustful, at that time they keep all the deities in front of them, and then they invoke God, and then they go and take that curse of go and fall into lust. And they have no sense that, this is a vice. And Baba says, I am the one who opens the locks on your intellect, and I am the ones who make you recognize that purity is your original nature, and purity is your nature as in two yugas, in the beginning and in the soul world also you're pure, and I give you the understanding and the power to become pure again. So there are three things. Baba gives knowledge, Baba teaches us Raj Yoga. So when you hear the word Raj Yoga, there are so many interpretations of that word Raj Yoga, and somebody would say Raj Yoga is the yoga that this sannyasi taught and that sannyasi taught, and then there is so nobody knows what Raj Yoga is. And Raj Yoga is the yoga that makes you the king of kings, that changes you from human to deity. So Baba says, I am the one who teaches you Raj Yoga. And Raj Yoga is you forget your body, you forget your bodily religion, you forget your bodily relations, consider yourself to be a soul and remember me. That is Raj Yoga. So my gift is knowledge, my gift is Raj Yoga, my gift is the gift of purity. And through these things, I change you from a human to a deity. And Baba says, I am incorporeal. I am not the one you think I am. So Baba says, in the Gita, it is written that God comes and God speaks. But then they think that God is a deity. God is a human figure and he speaks in front of one Arjun. But Baba says, I don't come in the copper age. I come at the end of the Iron Age and in the beginning of the Golden Age, and I'm incorporeal, and I do not take a horse chariot. I take the chariot of a body, Brahma Baba's body, and I will give you one experience. So I remember that I had not read any scriptures before I came to Gyan, and I had not done any bhakti in this birth. And then when I came into Gyan, I understood knowledge, and then I immediately, it meant, I had that feeling that this is the truth, and I took to it immediately. And then because it was the fruit of the devotion I must have done in last births, which I don't remember, but I immediately felt like this is, there is something called the ring of truth. And when somebody says the truth, your heart knows this is true. Although you cannot place it logically, you know that this is true. And that happened. And then I remember we used to go for seva. And there was a small temple, and in the month of Savan, it was a Shiva temple. And then in the month of Savan, we thought that there are so many matas coming to that temple, so let us go and give them Baba's message. Then I and one mata, we went there, and they were reading Shiv Mahapuran at that time. So then when they saw me in white dress, they thought that, okay, now Didi will teach us Shiv Mahapuran today. So then they just made me sit down and they said, Didi, aaj ka part you do for us. So you give us today's lesson. And then I had never read it. So, but I thought, okay, Baba says that I give you the essence of all scriptures. So no big deal. It's fine. So then I remembered Baba and I sat down, and then they mark, there is one marker they put on how much they have read yesterday and today what they have to read. And then they opened the book for me. And when I read it, what were the words? The words were, Shiv Mahapuran is written in first person. I, Shiva. So it says, I, Shiva, instruct Brahma to create a new world. And when Brahma is unable to do that, then I enter his forehead, Lalat. This is the forehead, and create the new world. And that is verbatim, this is written in Shiv Mahapuran. And when I read that, I just felt like, this is so accurate. And then I explained that, this is how Shiv Baba creates the new world, and who is Brahma. So you see, there are only two figures in bhakti who are shown as old. One is Brahma and another is Vishwakarma. Yes, and Vishwakarma is also shown as an old man who has this globe in front of him, and he's chiseling it with, chisel, and he's creating that. And then Brahma is also shown as an old figure, and he's associated with creation. So Baba says that, Baba says, I come and create the new world in the old world. And I take an old instrument. I take the body of this old person and I enter this body, and then I create the new world by giving you this new knowledge and new directions and teaching you this new Raj Yoga. And Baba says, I am bodiless, and I am the one who speaks to you. Bhagwanuvach is spoken by me. And this is what Baba clarifies. And Baba says that I come in the confluence age and give you the knowledge to change from a human to a deity. And then they show a chariot, which is a wooden chariot in bhakti. And Baba says, no, Rath or chariot means a body. That's why, when somebody leaves the body, then it is said this body is Arathi, charioteer-less. So the Rathi, the charioteer, is gone. So Baba says, this is the Rath I take, and I am God, I am incorporeal. I come and speak the Gita to you. I teach you Raj Yoga. And what is Gita Gyan? Gita Gyan is this knowledge that Baba gives us, the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and end of the world. And you see that there are so many theories about the beginning, middle, and end of the world. And some people will tell you were monkeys in the middle, in the beginning, and then some will tell you that you were primitive in the beginning. And then Baba says, or somebody will tell you that, in the original stage there was sannyas marg. So, but Baba says no. In the original deity religion, you lived in the household, and it was a pure household. And this sannyas religion, it came the religion of renunciation, which Baba calls Nivritti Marg. And the system of family is called Pravritti Marg. So, these days people think that Nivritti or leaving the household is the ideal practice. Yes, and people are trying to become monks and ascetics, and they think that it is a very high achievement, and they think that becoming a sannyasi and leaving the household is a very big achievement. But Baba says no, that is a practice that was developed in Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, around 1200 years back, this system was introduced where people were suggested to leave their household and go and live in the jungle, and it was considered a sign of elevated practice. But Baba says, no, that is not elevated practice. The elevated practice which you had in your deity religion, that was the practice of living in a household without vices. So you live in the family, and then you are completely free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. That was your pure system of family. And Baba says, that is what you want to achieve now. It's not a big deal to leave the house and go and live in the jungle. It has its own challenges, but Baba says that is not the ideal practice. And Baba says, this is why now I teach you how to live in the house and not be pulled by the vices of the household, or shift your attitudes to soul consciousness, so you can live in the household without lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. And you can, you earn your money, you take care of your family, you take care of the body, but without attachment, without ego, without greed. You make your best effort, but you don't have ego about it. Yes, and it is such a big thing. And today, only those people are egoless who do nothing, and even those have ego sometimes. But to do everything and be egoless is what Baba asks us to have. And Baba says that you do seva, you take care of your mundane business and also of alokik seva. You be the first one to take initiative in everything. You become the person who takes the responsibility, the biggest responsibilities, but then you don't have ego. You live as a husband and wife, but you don't have lust. That is high achievement. And there was this. So there are many people who will tell you that if you are becoming free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then you should leave the house, and that is achievement. But Baba says, no, that is not achievement. That is not commendable. That is just a practice of escapism which was introduced 1,000 years back. But this is the practice that originally was the ideal practice. And you look at all the deities that we worship them in pairs. Sri Ram, Sri Sita, Sri Lakshmi, Sri Narayan. We don't have single deities. And even when single deities are there, like Sri Durga or, Kali, then we say the husband is God, Shiva. So it is always, a combined form. And Baba says, here also when you're combined with me, then you can live in a pure grihast and create that sanskar of going to the deity religion. So Baba says, I am the one who gives you the highest knowledge, and this highest knowledge changes you from a human to a deity. Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I am thinking about something from morning itself. Before meeting Baba, we had so much love for him in Bhakti stage. So much transparency, so much honesty, so much devotion. But we were living in married life as a couple, and we had certain mental traits and a way of dealing. And I noticed that same I am doing with Baba also when I am in relation with Baba. I know Baba is the best of the best, and I have to do this. I like also. But why I am not coming out of my sanskars previously, how I dealt with the one I loved. Yes. And same way I am walking with Baba, and actually I think I am dominating Baba also.
That's fine. Matas are allowed to do that. So
keeping my foot front always.
So you see, Baba says that, earlier we didn't even know that we have this sanskar of pursuing more, and then when you attain someone or something, then you take it for granted. Yes. So earlier we didn't recognize this sanskar. Now we recognize it. So now when you recognize it, you have to work hard to overcome it, just like every other sanskar. So, you have to. And in my experience, talking to yourself knowledgefully helps a great deal. So, just like if somebody else keeps counseling you, somebody else keeps, with very good wish and love in their heart, if they keep tweaking you a little all the time, then you stay on the path, you stay on your toes. Similarly, if you keep talking to yourself and guiding yourself always, so I have this method where I keep talking to myself that this is how you want to be, this is what you want to do, this is your aim, and you have to bring variety into it. It cannot be the same dialogue every day. So you have to keep talking to yourself in very unique ways every day and keep guiding yourself to refrain from certain sanskars. And if you use the language, don't do this, then your mind doesn't listen. So use the language, you are a committed soul, you have this quality of commitment, you have this quality of consistency, and you are somebody who has been here and done this always, so you can do this. So you keep motivating yourself like that, and self talk helps a lot. It has helped me a lot, so try doing that. Okay.
Okay.
Shanti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Om Shanti. Yes, anybody else wants to share?
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
When I belong to just one, my intellect doesn't have anywhere else to wander. So my stage becomes constant and stable. That's what Baba says. And he says that this is the time of upheaval. So people, situations, atmosphere will always pull you down. But when I am fixed in my stable state, so I can come immediately from expansion to essence. But these at times, like in this staying in the in the stage, we have to do everything. We have to fulfill all our responsibilities. But then it becomes very difficult. We know that we have to do everything, and my intellect should not have anyone else than Baba. But then we are so much engrossed in this life and the things happening around. So it becomes so difficult to just keep one, as Baba says.
So see, you have to understand that when you use the language that we have to take care of our responsibilities, then you get caught up in it. So you have to understand that they are not your responsibilities. So you are a soul, your responsibility is just towards Baba. And everything else that you are doing is the responsibility Baba has given you. So when you say, that my responsibility towards Baba is a different subject, and my responsibility towards the Lokik family is a different subject, then there is a tussle. But when you understand that my only responsibility is responsibility towards Baba, and in that is included this, because this is the responsibility that Baba has given me. So then you just belong to one. And even if something is happening or not happening in the Lokik family, you surrender it to Baba. Yes, so then everything becomes Baba, about Baba and Baba's seva. But you need to work hard to inculcate this attitude. So, you have to churn on this truth that I am a soul and all my relationships are just with one Baba. And this has to be done with a lot of, you have to practice this a lot. It cannot happen just like that. So when this sinks in, then, everything becomes indirect with everybody and direct with Baba. And that is when, nothing pulls you, because you know that the only one that is mine is there, it's intact. So I have not lost anything, nothing has happened, and there is no sense of loss or no sense of sorrow in whatever situation. So I always have this expression, मेरा क्या चला जाएगा, तो मेरा है ही क्या जो मेरा चला जाएगा. So anybody gives anything, they give it to Baba. Take anything, they take it from Baba. What will be they take from me? My everything is because of Baba. Because I belong to Baba, there is Swaman. Because I belong to Baba, there is, security. So nobody can take away my Swaman and my security because it is from Baba. So that is why this thing you have to practice a lot. Okay, Om Shanti.
Thank you, Didi.
Actually, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I just wanted to share that actually it is the time lag. Your stage definitely shifts when the people situations are pulling you down, but the time lag in which you again come back to the stage is very important.
Correct.
So, like in the blessing also, Baba says, it will happen anyway, but in a second you should be able to come back to your stage.
Yes.
So that is very important.
Yes.
That things will pull you down, situations will pull you down, and it does. But you have to come back to again realizing, check and change.
Correct.
So that is, I think, very important in this.
Yes, this is how it begins. Like, earlier it will take a long time to come back, then shorter and shorter,
Yes.
and then once again.
Earlier, we did not even realize that we have to come back. We thought that it was okay to be angry and show your anger or be hurt, feel hurt. We thought it was the only way and only right way to do that.
Correct.
But now we know that no, we have to come back to that stage.
Yes.
So that helps a lot. This in that way, this knowledge is very helpful to come back to your stage.
Yes. And then, slowly you will reach a stage where you will not slip. So just like, this stage happened, there'll be a stage when you will not slip. So you will be able to discern that, beforehand, that I don't want to slip, and you will pull up your power beforehand and remain stable. So that will also happen. Just like this journey you had, that stage will also come. Okay. Om Shanti.